Hey, are you a six-figure female entrepreneur or just about there? Well, congratulations. That's a great achievement. But I know you're not done. You're ready to achieve the next dimension in your life and your business. And that's going to require you to conquer your fears and self-doubt, gain clarity and focus, increase your visibility, get strategic and intentional, and take massive action to execute on your goals. Now, does any of this resonate with you? Yes, I hear some of you saying, yes, this sounds like me, but if I knew how to do all of that, I would have done it already. Well, I hear you. Listen, you're not alone, and I have the solution for you, but you have to take the first step. See, what I know is that women like you are not content to sit on the sidelines and just wait for things to happen. Nope, you go get what's yours. So if you're truly ready to do what it takes to reach the next dimension in your life and your business, then I want you to join me for my free live stream masterclass and learn the 5 key elements badass female entrepreneurs must leverage to conquer self-doubt, increase their visibility, and execute on their goals so they can live life unapologetically AF. So now it's your turn. You have to take the first step. So reserve your spot now. All you have to do is go to bibmasterclass.com. That's B as in boy, Y, B as in boy, B as in boy, masterclass.com. Remember, it's free. And we're going to spend about 90 minutes together. You'll be able to ask me questions, and I'm going to teach you how to master building your business badassery. So meet me there. Meet me there. Welcome to the Ladies Who Leverage podcast, where we empower women to connect authentically, build strategically, and live life unapologetically AF. It's time for women to embrace that they are powerful at their core and to leverage their expertise, resources, and relationships to build their business, their brand, and their badassery. I'm your host, Kelly Charles Collins, and we invite you to subscribe to the Ladies Who Leverage podcast. Our episodes drop every Monday at 9 a.m. Eastern. So listen, enjoy, share, and subscribe. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Ladies Who Leverage podcast. And today I have a special kind of show because we have sisters, some beautiful sisters who are on the Ladies Who Leverage podcast. So I cannot wait for you to meet them. So let me introduce them and then we will get right into it. So we are talking today to Kim and Keyondra Lockett. Some of you may know them. In 2019, these beautiful sisters launched Jolie Noire, a size-inclusive luxury clothing line that celebrates the beauty and power of Black women. The whole idea behind the brand came from the sisters' Louisiana French roots and the need for more Black female voices in the fashion and merchandise industry. Keyondra and Kim, who are blood sisters, are a singer, songwriter, and fashion stylist, respectively. So if you didn't get that, Keyondra is the singer, songwriter, and Kim is the fashion stylist. And that's what they do by day, but they're also lifestyle bloggers and vloggers by night. Their mission is to empower women, specifically Black women, by changing how they view themselves. They aim to be a great example of stylish Christian Black women. Jolie Noire celebrates Black history, celebrates Black diversity, but history too, I guess, Black diversity and inclusion, while offering stylish, high fashion essential wear for both men and women. The premium brand offers women a chic mix and match wardrobe with a powerful message and purpose. Keyondra and Kim, welcome to the Ladies Who Leverage podcast.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Oh, welcome. You're welcome. So I was telling you before we got on that I wanted to talk to you all because, one, I love fashion, and I just think that this is very cool that you all are sisters and working together. So just give us individually, give us a little bit about your background before we get into, well, how do we get to this whole thing about starting the business? So let's start with Keyondra.
Okay, well, hey everyone, my name is Keyondra. I am a 2-time Stellar Award gospel artist, a #1 Billboard gospel artists as well. I've written for many different artists, and just the whole like start and beginning for us was our business prior to this. We were called the Red Glasses Sisters, and we started back in 2009 with eyewear and different accessories. Really wanted to get into the whole entrepreneurial space, and we got our feet wet with that. Stayed in for about 3 years with that endeavor, and we weren't making any sales. Social media wasn't what it was, or what it is rather today, and so we just decided to, kind of put it to the side, and I just continued pursuing music. I used to sing with a group by the name of Zael. And in 2013, we decided that we would, travel hard and heavy, and we did just that. And so my sister and I, we sacrificed and we placed our business, to the side, put everything on hold for what we would call a greater mission, which is ministry. But had no idea that this business that we have now, Jolie Noire, would be a ministry all on its own, So it's been a really adventurous ride. And yeah.
We're going to talk about that adventure because, people think that when they see the end product, they're like, oh, they don't understand all the pitfalls, right?
Yeah.
Right? So Kim, give us a little bit more about your background.
Hi, everybody. So I am Kim, and I am a wardrobe stylist. I have been styling for a little bit over 10 years. So I've been working in the industry, just kind of doing some background stuff with Keyondra, and then also just taking personal styling jobs here and there. But yeah, for the most part, I've been working with Keyondra, and then of course the group that she used to sing in. So that is pretty much what I do. I love all things fashion, just like you. I was the kid who, made the little tissue dresses for my dolls, wrapped the rubber band around the waist. And so this is just something that I've always been interested in. And so, yeah, I'm just glad. I've always wanted to have a clothing line. And so I'm just glad that I'm able to see it through.
It's so funny. Like I love fashion, and I cannot draw anything. I cannot sew anything. I cannot do anything that has to do with fashion. I just love it. Like I have a good eye. And so I love like you said, I love everything fashion in terms of being able to see it and have ideas about it, but certainly don't have I won't say ability, because you have ability. I just don't have the desire.
Yeah.
I don't have the desire to sew anything or put it together, but
yeah.
Enough about that. Let's get into all your story. And first of all, is it just the two of you, or do you have other siblings?
Just the two of us.
Okay, so that's like me. I have a sister, Lisa. It's just the two of us, right? And she is, she's my coach, and she's, always behind me and helping me doing everything. But she won't come out like in the front.
Yeah, I don't like to be in the front either.
No, I'm trying to push her out into the front because she's so brilliant. So let's talk about Jolie Noire. First of all, I love the name, and I want to know, where did that name come from? What is the origin of that?
Yes, so Jolie Noire, it does mean pretty Black in French. And like you said earlier, Keyondra and I were from Louisiana. And so that is why we picked French language. I absolutely love Spanish, and I wanted to try to do something in Spanish. And, just because what we didn't want to be literal. So we kind of went with tried to look at pretty noir and, things like that. But we were like, okay, no, we don't want to be so out in the open. What we wanted to do is kind of have an opportunity to have a conversation starter with non-Black people and Black people, and to, have a chance to educate people on the brand and even give them maybe some extra information that they probably don't know. Yeah.
And you talked about in 2009 having the eyeglass, wearer and all of that. So it's not your first rodeo into this kind of fashion industry. But why did you make the change from, why didn't you restart, thinking about, let me go back to eyewear, something that we had already known and done, and transition into clothing?
Well, Clothing was just, again, like Kim said, it was something that she's always wanted to get into, wanting to have her own boutique. And she wanted the pieces to be clothing. I think as it relates to the name, why didn't we go back to that whole, brand, if you will? It didn't really, it wasn't niche heavy enough, there wasn't anything that made people draw to that. But a name like Jolie Noire, it really makes Black women, or Black men now rather, it makes them draw into what it is that we're doing. There's a mission behind this. We didn't have a mission behind the other, and I think that people would, had we sat enough with that brand, we could have come up with something, a mission, or see with better eyes, see people with better eyes, right, or something, but we both feel like wearing a t-shirt with a bomb statement about who you are, having confidence. A lot of women have told us, I wear your clothes, I gain, more confidence about my skin tone, about being a Black woman. And I think it's just better, with that.
Yeah, and we wanted to, with the Red Glasses Sisters, our goal was to actually branch off into clothing. So it was kind of that same scenario, but the reason why we did a name change was because the Red Glasses Sisters was so limiting. It said sisters, so our men following couldn't, really get with it. And then it said glasses. And so, it was kind of confusing to our audience. So we had to, that one, it just wasn't going to work out that way. So we just we changed our name so that it could be more marketable. We can do more things with Jolie Noire. And so, it was very important that we did that.
Yeah. You all talk about a couple of things that I think are so important. I talk to the women and ladies who leverage all the time about, building your business badassery. And a couple of things that we talk about in relation to that is having a mission, having a vision, right? And also in terms of your brand, what is that brand, right? So you were saying, listen, we could have gone back there, but what was the mission for that? And so with Jolie Noire, what is the mission? What is it that you all are trying to impart to the world, to Black women, to women in general?
Yeah. So our main premise is that Blackness is beautiful, that we deserve to be in all spaces. And the most thing is that to send the message to others that representation does matter. I always say that non-Black people, specifically white people, they understand the most. They're like the best example of representation mattering, because when they don't see themselves, they're so used to seeing themselves in spaces, but when they don't see themselves in the space, they're like, should I buy that? Can I buy that? Is this something that because it doesn't have me in it, it doesn't, it says Black, or it says, whatever, it doesn't have me represented. So how can I see myself wearing this? How can I insert myself in that? And so I think that that's what we've been going through, although we've, had to go status quo and we've had to purchase whatever it is. Like if you have a diaper, package with a white baby on it, your baby needs diapers. It's a no-brainer, right? As a Black person. So we really want to impress upon not just Black people. Of course, we know we're beautiful, right? But to show other people and to share with them and let them know, this is normal. This, y'all have to get on board with this. And, so yes, you can wear this too, because this is normal. This is our Marilyn Monroe, our, Audrey Hepburn, this is that, buy it.
It's funny that you say that, because I was going to ask you about that, niching down right to Black women. And it's so funny because whenever Black companies do that, right? Black owned companies do that and say, this is for Black women, or we're doing something that this is for Black people. There is this sense. So one of the things that I do is also train on unconscious bias, and I have to explain to them, right? Especially we were talking about Black Lives Matter, right? Which is, it's not about exclusion, right? It is about focus. We are just focusing, right? And so how have non-Black white people, right, particularly, responded to the fact that your brand is so out there in terms of, listen, first of all, our name is Pretty Black. And second of all, our mission really is about Black women. How have they responded? How have people responded to that?
A lot of them have responded well. Actually, since this whole deal with Target, we've gotten DMs of white women bloggers who have like major numbers, who are obviously not afraid to represent and support the brand. And they're like, you guys really have a great mission, love what you're doing. And I'm gonna, support, and I'm gonna wear it and take pictures in it and tag you and all those things. So the support is, I know for me, it's unreal, because, you don't hear white people wanting to wear a Black brand. And it's rewarding as well, to have someone to vouch for you, especially being white or being, non-Black, to have them vouch for you. It's a bomb thing, because for so long we've not had that.
Yeah. But, it's funny because when we first started the brand, there was we were in a parking lot in Johns Creek. We were in Johns Creek. Yes. Uh-huh. We were at the Forum on Peachtree, and we had on our shirts, and a white mother and I think her son stopped us and asked us, what did our shirt mean? What did it say and what did it mean? And we told them it means Pretty Black. And they were like, oh. And they just, no more conversation. They didn't want to hear anymore.
Well, listen, you were in Johns Creek, girl.
Uh-huh.
We were on their time, right?
It's so funny because when we moved there, so we moved to Johns Creek, and I was like, I grew up in Miami. So, this was like, what is going on here? And so we lived on the border. So one side, so where our house was Fulton County. Across the street, literally across the street, was Forsyth County.
Okay.
So we know Forsyth County was, integrated, I guess, in the 60s, 70s. I don't even know. But so that's, so I can see that, having that conversation and them just being like, okay, let me go. I don't know about that. And now, Keyondra, the thing on TikTok when they say, wait a minute, you're not just going to pass by you just didn't say that. Ma'am, you just slipped in Target on us. So you just slipped that in. So we're going to get to Target. So don't let me forget about Target, because I think that's a huge deal. But I still want to get you all to just give a little bit more about your story. And I know, Keyondra, Kim, you said that you love fashion. And I know, Keyondra, you're in music. But was there someone or something that inspired you in your childhood to get into the fashion industry?
Yeah, I would have to give credit to our mom. Actually, when I was younger, she bought me this little tiny sewing machine, this toy sewing machine, but it actually worked. And she was trying to teach me how to sew. And, so that was because I asked her for a sewing machine. And obviously I was too young to own my own large sewing machine because she had one. And so I wanted one. And I just never took up sewing. It wasn't a huge passion of mine. I would like to know how to sew, but I think it's just one of those to know kind of things, and not a thing that I want to do. But yeah, so she made my homecoming dresses and, all that kind of stuff like that. And she's real big into interior decorating for her own home and things like that. And so I think that, yeah, she's the major person in our lives that really inspired all of this.
Yeah, actually, our mom is a part of our business as well. We're the face of the company, but she works, behind the scenes with the whole business piece. And so I just think that, yeah, like Kim said, it would be our mom.
Yeah. How important is that, Keyondra, when you're just talking about, you all being the face and mom being behind the scenes, right, running the business? How important is that to ensuring the success of the business?
I'm sorry, say the...
How important is that to have mom and team, right? Have a team to help you in making sure that your business is successful?
It's very important. No one man can do anything on their own. And two people can't do it either. So to be able to have our mom, you know, a part, we also outsource for like PR and things like that. Like you need a full team to be able to do what it is that we're doing. And so she's played a major role. Our mom is very smart, very business savvy, very good with money. And she's taught us how to be as well. But you need that, you know, you need all people working every area, especially being a small business when you only have about three. In this case, you have three people. So you need everybody's hands, you know, working, putting in the work, doing whatever it is that they can. When we get bigger, great. We can rest. We can get out some kind of way.
You won't be able to rest.
Yeah, a little bit. We'll be able to rest a little bit, but until then, yeah, we need all hands on deck.
Yeah, you got to do it. And so when we talk about Jolie Noire, you know, one of the things that is a main point and a main focus is the whole idea of inclusivity. Mm-hmm. And we know that the fashion industry, that is not, I mean, some brands are now moving towards that, but you know, the fashion industry is like 0 to maybe 12. Maybe, right? That's generally their sizing. So why was it so important for you two to make inclusivity a major focus of this brand?
Yeah, like you said, it's not there. So as plus size women ourselves, you know, so we filled in 2 gaps basically for ourselves that we didn't really realize. Like the plus size one was a little bit more evident than, you know, realizing that more Black people wanted to see beautiful Black illustrations and wear them. But yeah, the plus size piece, that, you know, being in the plus size community, we were at one point plus size bloggers and got really close to a lot of plus size bloggers who are now, you know, larger plus size bloggers today. And so we, you know, we really got close to them, and we understand, like, it's not about, you know, staying the size, because we work out and we, you know, try to lose weight and, you know, things like that. But it's about loving the body that you're in at the moment, so that you can be encouraged to do whatever it is that you want to do with the body. I always say that it's not up to the business to determine or to decide for the consumer what to wear. I think that you should put it out there and allow people to just wear what they want to wear for the most part, and people will make their own decisions. They're doing it anyways, you know? So that's the thing. It's like, we were the ones who had to go into Lane Bryant in the, you know, 12th grade and stuff like that, where, you know, Lane Bryant wasn't the Lane Bryant that it is today even. Right. And, you know, tried to make shift and outfit. And so, you know, it's super important. I've always wanted to see a store mirror itself. And when I say that, it's like the smaller sizes and the plus sizes, they look exactly the same. It's not, you know, there's not variance in the design. And so that's what we want to offer.
Yeah. And Keyondra, the size range is what? So that everyone knows.
Small to some 6X.
Right. That's huge. I know that I'm a big HSN and QVC fan, so y'all need to get on there. Y'all need to get on there. But, you know, they have just started with some of the brands going up to 5X. And it's so important, like you said, right? So that, you know, being a plus size woman, you shouldn't have to pay more, right? You shouldn't have to, just like you said, Kim, piece together, right? Yeah. Oh, let me go piece together, or let me go over here to get that. And I think, you know, that is so, so important. And you were talking about, you know, we looked at the market and we saw what was missing. And that's how we came up with, okay, this is what we're going to do. And, you know, as entrepreneurs, talk to us about that. And, you know, many of the listeners are female entrepreneurs who are either have their businesses already or are starting a business. And how important is it to see the gap and figure out how you can fill that gap?
Yeah, you know, it's funny because Keyondra and I, we were just talking about this. We were like, you know, I think that we didn't realize that this was a gap that we were actually filling in until we actually, you know, really started. It was something that we wanted. So I told her, I was like, I've been scouring, you know, trying to figure out, like, how can I, even while we had Jolie Noire, like, this was like our early stages, how can I, like, solve a problem? You know, so I think it's important to look in your literal own backyard, of your mind, and think, what is it that I'm missing? You know what I'm saying? Like, I need, what will help me in my life? You know, what will help better my life? Because as sure as it helps you in your life, it's going to help many other people in theirs. So yeah, it's super important to try to look in those ways. And I don't know if it's even so much as trying to be so conscious about it. It's just kind of like, okay, like, because the broom came about because of what? You needed a better way to sweep. You know, the mop, you needed a better way to mop.
Yeah.
You know, so all of these and then just everything around us was because we needed a better way. It's a life hack, you know, type of thing. So just think about the life hacks. Think about all of the different ways that you make your life better and see how you can make a business out of it.
Yeah. And I want to talk to you all about working together as sisters. So many women start businesses on their own. And then there's some women who want to partner with another woman, generally not a sibling, right? Many of the people who are working together. What is it like working with your sister? And both of you can answer. And what are some of the challenges in having it, you know, a sibling be your business partner?
I think one of the challenges would be that, you know, we know each other well, you know. Of course, you know, you can always keep the respect factor there, you know. But because we know each other, sometimes it's like, okay, well, look, I know better. I'm the oldest, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, that's not true. Like, she might know a lot better than me, you know, but you try to pull that age card, you know. And for me, like, at the end of all arguments, things like that, because Kim is very chill, laid back, relaxed. I'm the firecracker. So so at the end of, you know, all of the arguments and, you know, things like that, I'm just like, well, you know what, Keyondra, she's right. And you
it happens both ways.
So it's just, you know, it's just one of those things where, you know, again, like I said, the respect factor is there, but because you're very familiar with each other, you know, it's just kind of different. Like if I were working a 9 to 5 and I had staff meetings and things like that, I would try my best to be on my very best behavior, you know. Right. But because, you know, it's my sister, and again, you know, we're familiar with each other, but because we love each other and we're sisters, like at the end of whatever, you know, it's like, want to go get tacos? And, you know, and we still work, you know. Yeah. But our thing is like, you know, we're going to get in here, do this work, and we're going to make this money, you know, and we're going to put a smile on somebody's face. We're going to fulfill the mission. And I think that that's the thing that keeps us going, is fulfilling the mission, you know, getting the results. We didn't come this far just to come this far. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to work together. It's going to pan out with God. All is well, you know?
Yeah. That's right. I agree. It is a familiarity that, and I think that is that factor, because if you do partner with someone that's not your sibling, you probably are more apt to just kind of move different. You even move different with your friends sometimes than you do with your siblings, because we can cross different boundaries that you cannot cross with other people, which is weird in family, but it's kind of like you kind of got that. But then also you know the limits, you know the extent of the limits that you can push. But with other people, you just don't know that. Yeah. And at the end of the day, we are still sisters. Yeah. You know, you would dissolve a business with a friend, but you can't dissolve a sister, you know, sister. Like you can't do that. So yeah, you can choose your business partners, but you can't choose your family.
No, you can't. You can't. It's so funny when you were saying, so like, I'm the one who's like all over the place, and my sister is like chill, just, you know, very calm behind the scenes. Let's talk about the products in your business. So we have, you know, the whole thing about size inclusivity, and it's men and women. So tell us about some of the product lines that you have.
Okay, well, first of all, I would love to put out there our Femme Noire collection, because it's actually the collection that we came out with at the beginning of last year. It's our unisex collection. So of course we started off, you know, putting all of the light on Black women, you know, affirming Black women, validating them with our apparel. But then we wanted to bring men on board, and we thought that this would be very important. I was doing an interview, and both of us were featured in the interview. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the guy who was interviewing me his skin was a very chocolate, beautiful brown. Okay. And so he was like, I'm so glad that you guys came up with this company, came up with this idea, because and included men, because for men like me, I have struggled with my appearance and struggled with my skin tone because I'm so deep. But you guys make me know, like, this is good, you know, that like me being a deep brown is okay. And of course, yeah, it's okay. God made you that way. You got to accept that. And that's what we want to do with, you know, with the Femme Noire collection, bring unity. You know, like Black women rather aren't the only ones suffering with, you know, skin issues and things like that. Black men are suffering with it as well. And so, you know, they pay attention or have paid attention to our movement and how we, you know, dote over Black women. And they were like, look, we want a piece of that too.
Right.
So,
in true male fashion, okay?
Right? So we decided to pull them in last year. And we came up with Femme Noire, and it's been successful ever since.
Yeah, and it's hard. So that's where our premium collection, for the most part, is. Yeah. So we, so what we decided to do with Femme Noire is we saw that men were already shopping the brand anyways. And we took a look at those pieces that they were purchasing and then pieces that were similar to those. And so we curated a section. So like Girl with Hat, the one that I'm wearing, this one, our established sweatshirt will be in that. This hasn't released yet. But so we decided things that kind of look androgynous, because a lot of our pieces, our illustrations could, you know, male could wear them or a female could wear them. And then our solid sets, which are a part of our premium collection, and some of our our tie-dye, things like that. That's what you'll see in Femme Noire. And then, so we have illustration, we have solids and sets, and then we have our typography pieces too. So all of that you can mix and match and do how you want.
And do you all do the designs yourself?
We do.
We do. Yeah, we design them. So what we do is we'll look up like different features for Black people. So like and then we'll just be like, okay, well, these are beautiful eyes. These will go really great with this nose. And then we give them to our illustrator, and, you know, we'll say, well, this is what we want the nail color to be. And this is the kind of jewelry that we want. So, you know, this is the kind of curl that we want. And we really found it, because it took us a while to find an illustrator that really understood Blackness, that we didn't have to continue to go back and forward with them. So this one, she understands the curl pattern and the wave, and it's just the features. So it's a lot easier to get down to that, you know, to the person that we really want our, you know, image to look like. So so that is
and also looking at your pieces, that it looks natural. Right. Because sometimes when you have people do illustrations, or you trying to get them to do things around Blackness and Black women or Black men, it comes out very cartoonish. There's not this realistic, you know, representation of the beauty of our Blackness. And so, you know, looking at your pieces, I love that, because it really, when you look at it, yes, it looks like a real person, like a real, you know, a real Black, beautiful representation, as opposed to somebody just like, oh, this is what we think.
A cartoon. Like. That was important for us. That is exactly what we shared with our illustrator, with each one, that we didn't want it to come across like a cartoon, unless we wanted to come across like a cartoon. You know, if we say like, this is what we want, like we have a comic book inspired illustration, cartoon, do it all day. Right. They tried to cartoon this one. I was like, no, we're not doing the cartoon. We want her as lifelike as possible. So that's important to us, because we want it to be, we kind of want it to look like a painting, or like a lifelike illustration, you know, of someone. So, you know, we can connect with it a lot easier. And, you know, so that's important, because it sends home the message even better. Yeah,
absolutely. What has been your biggest challenge? Because the fashion industry is not easy. Like, it is just not, it's not an easy, I have a degree in fashion merchandising, but it's just not an easy industry to be in, especially being Black women, being Black plus sized women, right? So you have all of these intersectionalities. What has been the biggest challenge for you all in this business?
I would say, honestly, it doesn't really necessarily have to do with the fashion industry as much as it has to do with like the customers, the consumers themselves. You know, it's challenging because we, like I said, we dibble dabble in everything because we're a small business. So, you know, dealing with customers, because, you know, customer care is very important to us, you know, and so we want to make sure that all, you know, responses are, you know, answered correctly, you know, calmly, because we want to be as professional as we possibly can be. But at times, you know, it's just, you're dealing with different people, dealing with different attitudes. And I'm a Black girl, so I know attitude.
She's the spicy.
So, you know, I know how to get down, you know, and do all that and act crazy. But so I get it, you know, but I was like, wow, it's at times that can be very challenging, you know, but, you know, you just got to roll with the punches. It comes with the territory. And that's one thing that we would share with other Black businesses, because we get a bad rep for that as Black owned businesses, that, you know, the customer care is trash, you know? Yeah. And so I would suggest to any Black woman out there who is, you know, a business owner, make sure that you take care of your customers, even when they got bad attitudes. When you respond, you know, with water, you know, respond with softness, that attitude goes away. It's like, thank you so much for responding.
Yeah, because now they feel bad.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And you're not trying to make them feel bad. You just like, look, let me de-escalate this as best as I can. You know, we're just trying to make this sale and do what we got to do. Y'all move on. That's it.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I recommend now, because I worked in online retail for about 2 years back in like 2017 to 2019, like the end of 2017. And so I do recommend that people go work in retail if you're going to own a business that's retail, you know, that is retail, because it will teach you a lot on customer service, how to de-escalate a situation, how to manage and how to manage your own feelings, because it does kind of boil up in you, because people will test you and they'll push you, because people are people just like we're customers too. Right. Right. You know, we've done things or asked for things that, you know, like, really, did you do that? Did you really say that? You know, so I think that's important, because like it'll kind of give you a little bit more empathetic thought process to an approach to your customer service. But I would say that one of the most difficult things for us has been also finding our ideal customer, because, you know, of course you have your ideal customer, you have your real customer, and then you want them to meet in the middle. And so finding that person who, I mean, all of our customers have been so amazing. Like they don't use our coupon codes, but they'll buy. So that's amazing. Yeah. But, you know, so that is awesome. But there's a certain demographic that we definitely are wanting to have. Not that anyone is better than the other, but, you know, obviously when you set your sights out and you're an entrepreneur, you have that goal. So we want that goal to come closer. It's coming closer. And so that is exactly what that has been the challenge, is finding that person. Yeah.
So who is that person?
That person is us, basically. So we're 35 and 37. So they would be a millennial, if not Generation X. And she's college educated. Both of us are college educated. I have a master's degree. So ideally, having a master's, some sort of professional degree. And then someone who is, you know, who's fashionable, who, you know, she's a high earner or a decent earner. I won't say super high, but a decent earner. And, you know, she's super fashionable.
Someone also who doesn't mind spending, you know, spending the money. You know?
She's wise with her funds. Yeah. But, you know, at the same time, like she splurges and she, you know, she wants to shop on herself. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm glad that you all said that, because, you know, so often we are afraid as women, and particularly as Black women, to say, no, I need you to have some money. And you're afraid you don't want to spend that money because my stuff is not cheap. Right. And I think that, as you said, you know, Kim, like really bringing it in, right, to who is this woman and who is the man that you want to represent you, because as people are wearing your clothing and have, you know, the name out there, you want that to be the representation so that when other people who are like them see them, right? They can say, hey, where did you get that?
It is not an exclusion of anybody.
Right. No, it's a focus.
It's just, it's a focus. It's absolutely a laser focus.
And as a Black woman, a Black woman business owner, you're afraid to say things like that because you don't want to offend others who don't, you know, who may not have the amount of money that, you know, we want for our girl to have. Right. But honestly, we're going to be honest with you. We've not always been these girls, you know? Right. So that customer has grown into that as well, you know?
Yeah, and Louis Vuitton, Birkin, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, the rest of them, they don't care.
That's right.
They don't care. They don't care. This is who our client is, right? And I think that we have to be very right. See, unapologetic AF. And back there too. Back here. Yeah, you know, you really just have to be. So we talked about the challenge. And earlier we just slipped on by that we are in Target. So we're going to go back to that. Tell us about this because this is huge, right? And I know that Target has started doing in Black History Month. I wish they would just do it all year, but you know, we're going to start somewhere. Black History Month, really highlighting designers. And I know they did Mess in a Bottle last year. For Black History Month. And so tell us about being in Target. How did you get there? What does this mean for you? Just all the excitement about it.
It definitely means a whole lot for us. It helps with social proofing because we're only a 2-year-old business. Okay. So being that we're only 2 years old, we still have people who are like, we have a major following, but a lot of the followers, I'm sure, are sticking around, you know, before they make the choice to buy first. It's like, let me see how long you're going to last. Let me see how long, you know, let me see what's going on here. How do you perform? How do you move? You know, just by your Instagram, your social media presence alone, people are judging. And so to have Target behind you, that's a sure yes. So now that I see you got Target behind you, I'm going to support. And it's so funny because I have a major following as well, but they follow me for my music. Right. I post my like pictures and advertisement from Jolie Noire on there. And, you know, a lot of them are like, oh, go ahead, Kim. We're proud of you, girl. Oh, but today, it's like, I'm shopping at Target. I'm supporting. And it's like, yes, it took you this long to get here, but okay.
Like whatever it takes, right? To get
whatever it takes, yeah. Absolutely. So the social proofing that's really helped as it relates to, or rather Target vouching for us and putting us on. That's really helped with social proofing. And it's just really giving us a bunch of credit, you know?
Yeah. How did Kim, how did this come about though? Because, you know, Target, you don't just end up in Target. So how did this come about? Here, let me drop this off for you. Can you just put this on your shelf over here?
Sell this on your shelf. In all of your stores. Here you go. No, but it's really cool. It's a really great story because we, like Keyondra said, we are a 2-year-old business, and you know it doesn't even happen this soon for businesses, right? So last year in May, I got an email because I do our email things as well. So that I'm that customer service person, and I also have my own personal email, and so the rep at Target. She's a senior buyer. She reached out to my email and Jolie Noire's email. And I was like, I took a screenshot of it. Like I mulled over it a little bit. I was like, am I reading this right? I see this red circle. Like, is this correct? Am I dreaming? Like, what is this, right? And then so I tapped on her email and I was like, it says at Target, so it might be, but let's send this to the group. Cause at the time we had a business coach and we had a group text chat thing going on. And so I was like, guys, look at this. Am I reading this right? Is this correct? You know? And so our business coach, she looked up the name on LinkedIn and she was like, y'all, this is real. And I was like, oh my gosh. We were in mixed company. So Keyondra and I were with someone else. So we couldn't really like spaz out because we didn't even know what they wanted. But she was like, she just wanted to talk about an opportunity. And I was like, oh my gosh. And my wheels instantly, I'm an overthinker. They started going like, is this going to be for Black history? Is this going to be like for a partner? Like, what is this going to be? So like instantly my mind is thinking. And so we emailed her back and she was like, yeah, I would like to talk about, you know, an opportunity with you guys. I'd love to take a meeting with you guys. And we're like, oh yeah, absolutely. You know, we would love to, you know, trying to be chill a little bit and still respectful because this is Target. And so we did take a meeting with her. Actually, Keyondra and I, we were on our way to scout out a location in Savannah for a photo shoot that we were having. And yeah, we took a meeting with her, pulled over at a McDonald's and took a meeting with her on Zoom. And, you know, she asked us about, you know, our, you know, like if we felt like our product would do well in Target and, you know, things like that. And so the ball just rolled from there. She was like, after that, she was like, okay, well, I'm really confident. She liked our branding. She liked the website. She liked the Instagram. She really liked the way that, you know, we presented as a brand. And so she was like, okay, well, I'm really sure that I want you guys, I'm going to take this back to the team. She did get back to us and she said, after we confirm, it's going to go really fast. And she was so right.
Oh, wow.
We're like, we need this, this, and this. And we were like, oh my goodness. Okay. And so, yeah, so we had been sitting on the news for 8 months.
Oh, wow.
We couldn't tell anyone, like we told her like close family, but we couldn't make an announcement about anything for 8 months.
Oh,
yeah, that was a long time.
Did she say, because this is interesting, so did she say how she found your brand?
You know, we asked that. We were like, how'd you find us? She said she found us on Instagram, but she couldn't quite remember how. And so we do Facebook ads and things like that. And so she could have found it through an ad. She couldn't remember, but yeah, she said through Instagram.
and like you said, you know, being a 2-year-old company to actually get into Target. And I think that goes back to what I was talking about, like with your branding, when you talk about brand and building your business badassery, that people will say to you, or some, you know, you'll hear people say, oh, you know, it's going to take you forever. And yes, most times like things take a long time, but just depending on how you've positioned yourself and your presence, you know, things like this could happen, which is so exciting. So what are the products that they're going to have in Target and when are they going to have them in there?
Well, actually they are in there now.
Okay.
Started online January 9th and we sold out one of the sweatshirts like in minutes. So actually what they've done, they revamped basically pieces from our website and gave it like a, you know, they meshed it's a collection. Yeah, and so they like created a color theme or, you know, what have you. And it all, you know, matches well together. This sweatshirt here that she has on our website is called Girl with Hat, but they took it, redid the lip color.
Well, actually, we did all of this.
Well, yeah,
at their in collaboration with them.
They asked us for, so they wanted our Girl with Hat, and so we did the revamping of the colors. So they asked us for a specific color palette. Okay. And so we picked from their color palette, but yeah, so they did take the Girl with Hat and go ahead. I'm sorry.
I know that needed to be said because again, they gave us free reign. Yeah. We were able to create and do all that needed to be done for Jolie Noire. So when you see the brand in Target, it's not Target. Yeah. It's us. It's me and Kim.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, they just asked us for like a typography. They were like, can we get typography? Can we get illustrations? And so that's how these are things that we decided to put them as,
Yeah.
And that's good to know because, you know, I think some people, I know that when Mess was in there, Mess in a Bottle, it was her designs, right?
Yeah.
Her designs. And so that's nice to know too. I mean, obviously, you know, each each deal will be its own thing.
Yeah.
But to know that you don't have to lose who you are, right? And don't have to lose your brand and don't have to give over necessarily creative control in a situation like that is huge, right? Because it's one thing to be like, oh, Target came calling, but they want us to be something different in order to be in the store. So
Yes, that was one of her specific questions. She asked if we thought that our designs would work in their store for their audience, you know, for their customer. And we were like, yeah, because we know Black people shop at Target. And but then also there are white people who shop at Target that will wear things with Black people. So
and to make it normal, right? So that it's not just like, well, why do you have that shirt on? And it's so funny that y'all said that, because there were some, I was watching and there were some t-shirts and they were cute, right? Because they had, you know, all the women like friends, like sisters just hanging out. And I was like, I want a Black woman. Like, we're Black women, right? And though the shirt was cute, I was just like, yeah, but you know, I would love to see Black women. So I'm so glad that you all are doing this. And I'm so proud of you, you know, working together as sisters and with mom and, you know, just really, really making this happen. So for our listeners and our viewers who want to stay in contact with you, who more importantly want to purchase your products, where do they go?
Okay, well, please follow us on all of our social media at Jolie Noire Apparel, Instagram, that's our apparel page. Then Jolie Noire, that's the blog page. Jolie Noire, YouTube channel. And then our website, www.joliexnoire.com. And for the spelling, JOLIEXNOIRE.
And don't worry, all of it will be in the show notes. I'll make sure that all the links are in the show notes so that you can just go directly to their pages. And then Keyondra, beautiful singer, tell us a little bit about that and how they can find out about your music.
Okay, well, you can go and follow me on all of my social media. That's at Keyondra Lockett, KeyondraLockett. Actually, I have new music coming out this year. I have an album coming out called Cornerstone. Just did a song with 112's Q Parker. We have a music video out as well. You can go and search for that on YouTube. It's called Made Away featuring Q Parker. And that's it.
You can stream and download her music wherever you stream and download music.
Look, I've got Jolie Noire on the brain so much these days. It's like,
yeah, it's funny, right? When you have different things going on, sometimes when people are talking to you, you forget, like, oh yeah, I do these other things.
I do that too.
Right. My sister gets on me about that because, you know, I have my speaking business and then I have Ladies Who Leverage, and I'm so, you know, into Ladies Who Leverage and focusing on Ladies Who Leverage. And my coaches tell me this too. It's like, yeah, but that whole other part of your business, that exists too. Like,
it still exists, girl.
Okay. Remember to talk about that. Well, Kim and Keyondra, this was such a pleasure. I'm so glad that you all took the time to share with us here on the Ladies Who Leverage podcast, and that I got to meet you all. And hopefully we will keep in contact and make sure that, you know, we get your business out there and that women and men, right, support your business. And as the lady said, it is a focus on Black women, but it is not an exclusion of non-Black women or non-Black men. And so anyone can wear their designs. It's not just for Black people. It's just designed with us in mind, right? For our heart, our souls, our minds, to make sure that we are represented out in these streets. So for everyone who is listening, thank you all for always listening to the Ladies Who Leverage podcast. We so appreciate you. Make sure that you subscribe so that you don't miss an episode. Our episodes drop every Monday at 9 a.m. And for you badass female entrepreneurs, if you are making six figures or you're just about there and you are looking for a safe, supportive ecosystem where you can connect authentically, build strategically, and live life unapologetically AF, I invite you to apply to the Ladies Who Leverage Global Network and Mentoring Accelerator. It is a curated group of women. It's exclusive. And yes, it's by application and invite only, because we want to make sure that the right women are in that space so that we can help you to build thriving businesses. So you can go to lwlcollab.com to find out more and share, subscribe, let everybody know, and go check out Kim and Keyondra and Jolie Noire. All right, y'all, have a wonderful day. And until the next time, unleash your badassery and live life unapologetically AF. Take care. Thank you for joining us. This podcast has been brought to you by Lady Lawyer Media. Make sure that you subscribe so that you never miss an episode. And if you are a female entrepreneur or business owner and you're looking for a safe, supportive ecosystem to create and share ideas and information, build a thriving business, and live life unapologetically AF, then I'd invite you to apply to Ladies Who Leverage. We're an exclusive community of badass female entrepreneurs. So if that sounds like you, go to www.lwlcollab.com. That's LWLCOLLAB as in boy.com so that you can apply to join us in our amazing badass network. And until then, I want you to unleash your badassery and live life unapologetically AF.